you doing, guys? Today, part 3 of the American flag on the little mule. I went ahead and wiped everything down. I've covered up the white with masking. I'm getting ready to spray the red. This will be the red side of the American flag. As you will see, I did leave just a little edge of white all the way around. And the reason for that is this. I didn't sand the white paint or anything yet. I just put the tape on top of it. I actually got to get this moving quickly because the tape is sitting on pretty fresh white paint and I don't want the tape to mess it all up. So going to be pretty quick with this time-wise. So I went ahead, masked off all the white so that way, it's covered. I'm going to go ahead and spray the red and let that flash off. I'll take all the masking off, and then we'll start doing the layout of the stars for the blue. But just a couple things, just showing just a little edge of white all the way around. And the reason for that is this: because the white's not sanded yet, I want to put the red on, and I want a little lip of red to be on the white. That way when I go ahead and wet sand all this off, you get a nice crisp sharp edge for the most part. Not 100%, but for the most part. Like on this one, that's the edge that in theory should be left once it's all done. That's not the little mule right now. That fender pan is not cleared. It's just the paint sanded and buffed. So that's the goal here. So let me go ahead. Everything's wiped down. I did take a little Scotch-Brite and take the bulk of the blowout from the white that went into the red. Got that all off. I'm going to go ahead and get this outside, spray the red, and bring it back in. It's all prepped. Everything is sanded. Everything is wiped down with wax and grease remover. I just got to mix up the paint and spray away. This is why I use Duplicolor engine paints pretty much exclusively, because this is maybe 4 or 5 minutes after I just did that final spray, and look how it's just laying down. This paint just lays so nice. So I'm just going to let this flash for about a half an hour to maybe 40 minutes. It's pretty warm today. I wanted to get it painted before it got really humid outside. It's humid as hell, but beyond belief. But I'm just going to let this flash over a little bit, and then we'll pull the tape off. And we'll see what the final result is, but it's looking pretty dang good to me. And there's the red. Now you might not have been able to see exactly how I was pulling the tape off, but it took me just about as long to untape it as it did to tape it. Essentially, I was just taking my very sweet time and folding the tape over and pulling it off with the line of the paint. Now, it actually came out really good. I only have one little spot of blowout right there, but when I wet sand this with 1000 grit, that will come completely off. The little jagged edges, that's because of the tape as well as that little bit of overlap onto the white. Some areas are a little more overlapped than the others. So not really worried about that, but in general, that looks pretty darn good. Now, what I'm going to do is on this line right here, okay, just like that, just like a nice simple arc, okay, from this edge of the white this way, that will be all blue with the stars. So the next thing I need to do is I need to make the little pattern for all the stars, and the stars are going to arc like this. So like the stars are going to come in like in that line, and then obviously the wave of the flag across. But each star line is going to be arced just a little bit, so that way it gives you that feel of flow. I wish I had done one thing a little different. I wish this white was a little bit wider or a little bit flared. I think if I had flared it a little bit, it would have just kind of looked a little better. I like how this kind of widens out, and that's why I'm thinking that. But everything else, I think that laid out pretty good. So let me settle on a star size. I'll show you how I make the pattern, and then we'll lay all the stars out next. With the red pretty set, I mean it's dry to touch, and if I do this carefully, I should be able to spray the blue with the stars right now. It's probably not optimal to do it right now, but I really want to get this thing done ASAP. So next up, let's make the stars. Essentially, I have the look right here. I want it to look more folk arty than actual like perfect American flag, right? I want to make it kind of look like a folk art kind of American flag. So with that, I went and I just started to draw out a star shape that I think looks fairly good. I think that looks fairly good. I think it's about the right size. It's a little smaller than the one I have there. And what I'll do is I'll cut this out, and then with masking tape, I'll cut these stars out in the masking tape, and I'm going to put them in this fashion. So like basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to arc the stars like up this way. So that way it looks like it's coming down, up, and and over. And a couple of the stars, like on the old fender pan, I'm going to have them hang off a little bit. So that way it just kind of gives you an interesting little visual, like the flag goes on beyond the painted edge. So pretty simple, not the hardest thing in the world, but I do need to cut this template out. And I'm going to use the thick blue tape, unfortunately, because that's the only roll of tape I have that's big enough to make the stars. So we're going to go ahead. I'm going to cut this out. I'll take a Sharpie marker, put the stars, a couple stars on the tape, and then use a razor blade with the utility knife to cut them out with. What a pain. So this is all I do. I take the template, I just trace it out with the Sharpie marker, and then with a brand new utility blade, I just cut out the stars. I'll peel them off with the utility blade and drop them onto the white section of the flag, and these will mask off the white when I spray the blue. I got it all taped off for the blue. The seat is going to be right here, so there's no need to put extra stars in there, but you can see how the stars kind of roll up. It looks pretty cool with the stripes, so hopefully it'll all lay down real nice. I do have, the blue tends to maybe react with the white, so I'm hoping that doesn't really happen a whole lot, but we'll see what happens. All right, let me get this thing outside and squirt it with some blue. The blue laid down really nice. The stars are a little jagged, but that's fine, because when you sand it with 1000 grit, this is what you end up with. All the little choppiness just goes away, and all the lines should sand out real nice. So I'm going to go ahead and finish up sanding all this with 1000 grit. Then I'm going to use a 3000 scuff pad, and I'll show you how it looks after that. You might be able to see this, but this has been wet sanded, 3000 scuff pad, and then compound up to about here. And you can see right there that is just still sanded. So I'm going to go ahead and finish up compounding. Yeah, you can see where the line is right there. I'm going to finish up compounding across the stripes. We'll put it on and we'll see how it all looks. And there it is in the context of the tractor. Came out pretty darn good. I'm real happy with it. It's not 100%. It could have came out a little bit better in a few spots, but hey, it is what it is. It's pretty darn flat too. I mean, if you look at the reflections, I don't know if we can see that, but it's pretty flat. It looks good. Got my white wall, these are original Wheel Horse white wall tires from 1968. Unfortunately, the powder coater used the wrong color on the rims, but it is what it is. You can see this one, they're lighter than the front, but I didn't notice that until after I mounted the tires, and I'm not going to dismount them and all this other stuff. For right now, it's good enough. But, all right, guys, that is how I will do a graphic with rattle can paints. It's a little bit labor intensive. There is a bunch of material that's needed. But you know what? It can be done. It can be done fairly easy and fairly quickly. The whole if I didn't have that mess up, the whole process would have taken about 3 days, because you gotta have about 24 hours worth of dry time between them. But there you go. Thank you very much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. I am off to the Zagray Tractor Show. Actually, this video is going to be shown after that. But if you were there, hopefully I got the chance to get to meet you. All right. Thank you very much, everybody. Like, share, subscribe, and until the next project, which will be the Senior Wisconsin Engine, you have a great day.